Introduction to Cybersecurity. In today's digital age, cybersecurity is an essential part of our daily lives. With the rise of cybercrime and cyber attacks, it is crucial to have a good understanding of cybersecurity to protect our personal information and assets. In this module, we will explore the basics of cybersecurity and its importance in the digital world. What is cybersecurity? Cybersecurity refers to the protection of computer systems, networks, and digital assets from theft, damage, or unauthorized access. Cybersecurity encompasses a wide range of technologies, practices, and policies to safeguard digital information from attacks, theft, and damage. It involves protecting devices, networks, and data from a variety of threats, such as viruses, malware, spyware, and hackers. Why is cybersecurity important? Cybersecurity is essential because of the increasing amount of data that is being transmitted and stored digitally. As we continue to rely more on technology for our daily lives, the risk of cyber attacks and data breaches is also increasing. Cyber attacks can result in the loss of sensitive information, financial loss, reputational damage, and even physical harm. For businesses, cyber attacks can result in significant financial loss, damage to reputation, and legal liabilities. Cybersecurity frameworks. To ensure the security of digital assets, cybersecurity frameworks are essential. Cybersecurity frameworks are a set of guidelines, standards, and best practices that organizations use to manage and reduce cybersecurity risks. There are several cybersecurity frameworks available, including the National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, Cybersecurity Framework, the International Organization for Standardization, ISO 27001, and the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, PCI DSS. Threat modeling is a process of identifying and prioritizing potential threats to a system or application. It involves identifying potential attack vectors, determining the likelihood of attacks, and identifying the potential impact of an attack. Threat modeling is an essential part of cybersecurity because it helps organizations understand their vulnerabilities and prioritize their security efforts. Risk assessment is a process of evaluating the risks associated with a system or application. It involves identifying potential threats, assessing their likelihood and impact, and determining the appropriate risk response. Risk assessment is essential in cybersecurity because it helps organizations identify their vulnerabilities and develop appropriate risk mitigation strategies. Cybersecurity controls are measures put in place to protect digital assets from attacks, theft, and damage. There are several types of cybersecurity controls, including technical controls, administrative controls, and physical controls. Technical controls are measures put in place to protect digital assets from attacks, theft, and damage. Technical controls include firewalls, antivirus software, intrusion detection systems, and encryption. Administrative controls are measures put in place to manage the policies and procedures related to cybersecurity. Administrative controls include security policies, procedures, and training. Physical controls are measures put in place to protect physical assets, such as servers and network devices. Physical controls include security cameras, access control systems, and biometric authentication systems. Access controls are measures put in place to restrict access to digital assets based on the user's identity and authorization. Access controls include authentication, authorization, and accounting. Authentication is the process of verifying the user's identity, while authorization is the process of granting access to specific resources based on the user's role or permissions. Accounting is the process of tracking the user's activity and access to resources. Data protection is a critical part of cybersecurity. Data protection involves safeguarding data from unauthorized access, theft, or damage. Data protection includes data encryption, backup and recovery, and data destruction. In conclusion, cybersecurity is an essential aspect of our digital lives. As we continue to rely more on technology for our daily lives, the importance of cybersecurity will only continue to grow. In this module, we covered the basics of cybersecurity, including its definition, importance, and various frameworks, such as threat modeling, risk assessment, and cybersecurity controls. We also discussed access controls and data protection as crucial components of cybersecurity. It is essential to understand the risks and vulnerabilities associated with digital assets and how to mitigate those risks through proper cybersecurity measures. By implementing proper cybersecurity controls and frameworks, individuals and organizations can protect their digital assets from potential threats and reduce the risk of cyber attacks and data breaches. In the next module, we will delve deeper into cybersecurity by exploring different types of cyber threats, such as phishing, malware, and ransomware, and how to protect against them. We will also discuss incident response and recovery, which are crucial elements of cybersecurity in the event of a cyber attack or data breach. Cybersecurity frameworks and threat modeling. In the field of cybersecurity, frameworks and threat modeling play a vital role in identifying, assessing, and mitigating risks associated with digital assets. In this article, we will discuss the various cybersecurity frameworks and the concept of threat modeling and how they can be utilized to ensure the security of digital assets. Cybersecurity frameworks. Cybersecurity frameworks are a set of guidelines, best practices, and standards that organizations can use to manage their cybersecurity risks effectively. These frameworks provide a structured approach to identifying, assessing, and mitigating risks associated with digital assets. Some of the most widely used cybersecurity frameworks are: 1. NIST Cybersecurity Framework. The National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, Cybersecurity Framework is a set of guidelines for improving critical infrastructure cybersecurity. The framework consists of 5 core functions: identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. 2. ISO 27001. ISO 27001 is a globally recognized standard for information security management systems, ISMS. It provides a framework for managing the security of digital assets, including people, processes, and technology. 3. CAS Controls. The Center for Internet Security, CIS, Controls is a set of guidelines for securing digital assets. The controls consist of 20 best practices that organizations can use to reduce their cybersecurity risks. 4. PCI DSS. The Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, PCI DSS, is a set of guidelines for securing payment card data. It is a requirement for organizations that accept payment cards to be PCI DSS compliant. By adopting one of these frameworks or a combination of them, organizations can establish a structured approach to cybersecurity, which can help them identify, assess, and mitigate potential risks associated with their digital assets. Risk assessment and cybersecurity controls. In the field of cybersecurity, risk assessment and cybersecurity controls play a crucial role in protecting digital assets against potential threats. In this article, we will discuss the concepts of risk assessment and cybersecurity controls and how they can be utilized to ensure the security of digital assets. Risk assessment is the process of identifying, analyzing, and evaluating potential risks associated with digital assets. The goal of risk assessment is to identify potential vulnerabilities in an organization's systems and develop effective strategies to mitigate those risks. The process of risk assessment typically involves the following steps. 1. Identify the digital assets to be protected. This includes identifying the systems, applications, data, and devices that need to be protected. 2. Identify potential threats. This involves identifying potential threats to the identified assets, such as malware, hacking, phishing, and insider threats. 3. Analyze the likelihood and impact of potential threats. This involves assessing the likelihood and impact of each identified threat. The likelihood of a threat can be assessed based on the probability of it occurring, while the impact can be assessed based on the potential damage it can cause. 4. Evaluate the risks. Based on the likelihood and impact of each identified threat, organizations can evaluate the risks associated with their digital assets. 5. Develop mitigation strategies. Based on the evaluated risks, organizations can develop effective strategies to mitigate those risks and protect their digital assets. Risk assessment is an essential component of cybersecurity, providing organizations with a structured approach to identifying and mitigating potential risks associated with their digital assets. Cybersecurity controls are the measures that organizations can implement to protect their digital assets from potential threats. These controls can be technical, administrative, or physical in nature and are designed to reduce the risks associated with digital assets. Some of the most common cybersecurity controls are: 1. Access control. Access control is the process of limiting access to digital assets to authorized users only. This can be achieved through the use of passwords, biometric authentication, and other access control mechanisms. 2. Encryption. Encryption is the process of converting data into a coded format that can only be read by authorized users. This can help protect data from unauthorized access and theft. 3. Firewalls. Firewalls are software or hardware devices that control the flow of traffic between networks. They can help prevent unauthorized access to networks and protect against potential cyber attacks. 4. Intrusion detection and prevention systems, IPS. IPS are systems that monitor networks for potential cyber threats and can take action to prevent or mitigate those threats. 5. Security awareness training. Security awareness training is the process of educating employees about potential cyber threats and how to protect against them. By implementing these cybersecurity controls, organizations can protect their digital assets from potential threats and reduce the risks associated with those assets. In today's digital age, cybersecurity is more important than ever before. With the rise of cyber threats such as phishing, malware, and ransomware, it is crucial for organizations to adopt a structured approach to cybersecurity. Risk assessment and cybersecurity controls are essential components of this approach, providing organizations with a structured approach to identifying and mitigating potential risks associated with their digital assets. By implementing these measures, organizations can protect their digital assets from potential threats and ensure the security of their systems, applications, data, and devices. Access controls and data protection in cybersecurity. Access controls and data protection are two key components of cybersecurity that are essential for safeguarding digital assets against potential threats. In this article, we will discuss the concepts of access controls and data protection and how they can be implemented to ensure the security of digital assets. Access controls are the mechanisms that organizations can use to restrict access to digital assets. Access controls can be physical, technical, or administrative in nature and are designed to ensure that only authorized users are able to access digital assets. Access controls are essential for protecting against insider threats, which are threats that originate from within an organization. The following are some of the most common types of access controls. 1. Passwords. Passwords are the most common form of access control, requiring users to enter a password to access digital assets. 2. Biometric authentication. Biometric authentication involves using a person's unique physical characteristics, such as fingerprints or facial recognition, to verify their identity. 3. Role-based access control. Role-based access control involves assigning roles to users based on their job function or level of access. This ensures that users only have access to the digital assets that are necessary for their job function. 4. Access control lists. Access control lists are lists of authorized users who have been granted access to specific digital assets. 5. Multi-factor authentication. Multi-factor authentication involves requiring users to provide multiple forms of authentication, such as a password and a biometric scan, to access digital assets. By implementing these access controls, organizations can ensure that only authorized users are able to access their digital assets, reducing the risk of insider threats and unauthorized access. Data protection is the process of safeguarding digital assets, including data and information, from potential threats. Data protection is essential for preventing data breaches, which can lead to the loss of sensitive information or financial losses. The following are some of the most common types of data protection measures. 1. Encryption. Encryption is the process of converting data into a coded format that can only be read by authorized users. This can help protect data from unauthorized access and theft. 2. Data backup. Data backup involves creating copies of data and storing them in a secure location. This ensures that data can be recovered in the event of a data loss. 3. Data classification. Data classification involves classifying data based on its sensitivity or importance. This allows organizations to prioritize data protection measures based on the level of sensitivity of the data. 4. Data masking. Data masking involves concealing sensitive data by replacing it with dummy data. This can help protect sensitive data from unauthorized access. 5. Data loss prevention. Data loss prevention involves implementing measures to prevent data loss, such as implementing policies to prevent employees from copying data to external devices. By implementing these data protection measures, organizations can ensure that their data and information are protected from potential threats, reducing the risk of data breaches and financial losses. Conclusion: access controls and data protection are essential components of cybersecurity, providing organizations with a structured approach to protecting their digital assets. By implementing access controls, organizations can restrict access to digital assets and reduce the risk of insider threats and unauthorized access. By implementing data protection measures, organizations can safeguard their data and information from potential threats, reducing the risk of data breaches and financial losses. By adopting a structured approach to cybersecurity that includes access controls and data protection, organizations can ensure the security of their digital assets and protect against potential cyber threats. Network security fundamentals. In today's digital age, network security is an essential component of cybersecurity. With the increased use of the internet and computer networks, there has been a corresponding increase in the number of cyber threats. Network security is the process of safeguarding computer networks from potential threats such as unauthorized access, malware, and other cyber attacks. Network security fundamentals are the foundational principles and practices that are used to safeguard computer networks. These fundamentals provide the framework for building secure networks and help organizations to protect their sensitive information from potential cyber threats. The following are some of the key network security fundamentals. Firewall. A firewall is a software or hardware component that is used to control the traffic that enters and leaves a network. Firewalls are used to block unauthorized access to a network, as well as to prevent malware from entering the network. 1. VPN. A virtual private network, VPN, is a network that is created by using public networks, such as the Internet. VPN are used to provide secure connections between remote users and the organization's network. VPN are essential for remote workers who need to access the organization's network from outside the office. 2. Intrusion detection system. An intrusion detection system, IDS, is a software or hardware component that is used to detect potential threats to a network. IDS are used to monitor network traffic and detect any suspicious activity. 3. Antivirus and anti-malware software. Antivirus and anti-malware software are used to protect computer networks from malware, such as viruses, worms, and Trojan horses. These software programs scan the network for potential threats and prevent them from infecting the network. 4. Access controls. Access controls are used to control access to the network. These controls can be implemented at various levels, such as the network level, application level, or user level. Access controls are essential for preventing unauthorized access to the network. 5. Authentication. Authentication is the process of verifying the identity of a user. This can be done using various methods, such as passwords, biometric authentication, or smart cards. Authentication is essential for ensuring that only authorized users are able to access the network. 6. Encryption. Encryption is the process of converting data into a coded format that can only be read by authorized users. Encryption is essential for protecting sensitive data that is transmitted over the network. By implementing these network security fundamentals, organizations can ensure that their networks are secure and protected from potential cyber threats. These fundamentals provide a structured approach to network security and help organizations to safeguard their sensitive information from potential breaches and attacks. Conclusion: network security fundamentals are essential for safeguarding computer networks from potential cyber threats. With the increasing use of computer networks and the Internet, network security has become more important than ever before. By implementing network security fundamentals such as firewalls, VPNs, IDSs, antivirus and anti-malware software, access controls, authentication, and encryption, organizations can protect their sensitive information from potential cyber attacks. A structured approach to network security that includes these fundamentals is essential for ensuring the security of computer networks and protecting against potential cyber threats. Cloud security. As more and more organizations move their data and applications to the cloud, cloud security has become an essential component of cybersecurity. Cloud security involves the protection of data and applications that are stored in the cloud from potential cyber threats. The following are some of the key aspects of cloud security. 1. Data encryption. Data encryption is the process of converting data into a coded format that can only be read by authorized users. Encryption is essential for protecting sensitive data that is stored in the cloud. 2. Access controls. Access controls are used to control access to cloud resources. These controls can be implemented at various levels, such as the network level, application level, or user level. Access controls are essential for preventing unauthorized access to cloud resources. 3. Authentication. Authentication is the process of verifying the identity of a user. This can be done using various methods, such as passwords, biometric authentication, or smart cards. Authentication is essential for ensuring that only authorized users are able to access cloud resources. 4. Identity and access management. Identity and access management (IAM) is the process of managing user identities and controlling their access to cloud resources. IAM is essential for ensuring that only authorized users are able to access cloud resources. 5. Threat detection. Threat detection is the process of identifying potential threats to cloud resources. This can be done using various methods, such as intrusion detection systems, network monitoring, and log analysis. Threat detection is essential for preventing cyber attacks on cloud resources. 6. Incident response. Incident response is the process of responding to a security incident that has occurred in the cloud. Incident response involves identifying the cause of the incident, containing the incident, and preventing it from happening again. 7. Compliance. Compliance is the process of ensuring that cloud resources comply with relevant regulations and standards. Compliance is essential for ensuring that cloud resources are secure and protected from potential cyber threats. By implementing these cloud security measures, organizations can ensure that their data and applications are secure and protected from potential cyber threats. Cloud security is a complex and evolving field, and organizations need to stay up to date with the latest trends and technologies to ensure that their cloud resources are secure. Conclusion: cloud security is an essential component of cybersecurity, as more and more organizations move their data and applications to the cloud. Cloud security involves the protection of data and applications that are stored in the cloud from potential cyber threats. Key aspects of cloud security include data encryption, access controls, authentication, identity and access management, threat detection, incident response, and compliance. By implementing these cloud security measures, organizations can ensure that their data and applications are secure and protected from potential cyber threats. A structured approach to cloud security that includes these measures is essential for ensuring the security of cloud resources and protecting against potential cyber threats. Security in software-defined networks. Software-defined networking, SDN, is a networking approach that separates the control plane from the data plane, allowing for greater network flexibility and agility. While SDN has many benefits, it also introduces new security challenges that must be addressed. In this article, we will explore some of the key security considerations for software-defined networks. 1. Authentication and authorization. With SDN, the control plane is centralized, making it an attractive target for attackers. It is therefore essential to ensure that only authorized users have access to the control plane. Authentication and authorization mechanisms, such as two-factor authentication and role-based access control, can help prevent unauthorized access to the control plane. 2. Traffic segmentation. SDN allows for traffic segmentation, which can help prevent the spread of malware or other attacks. By segmenting traffic based on user or application, organizations can reduce the risk of lateral movement of an attacker. 3. Encryption. Encryption is essential for protecting data as it moves between different SDN components. Encrypted traffic is more difficult to intercept and manipulate, reducing the risk of man-in-the-middle attacks. 4. Monitoring and logging. It is essential to monitor and log all traffic in a software-defined network to detect potential security threats. This can include monitoring network traffic, device logs, and user activity logs. By analyzing this data, organizations can quickly identify potential threats and take action to prevent them. 5. Disaster recovery and business continuity. As with any network, it is important to have a disaster recovery and business continuity plan in place for software-defined networks. This includes regular backups, off-site storage of critical data, and a plan for restoring network functionality in the event of an outage or disaster. 6. Third-party integration. SDN often involves the integration of third-party components, such as security appliances or network analytics tools. It is important to carefully evaluate the security of these components and ensure that they are properly integrated into the network. 7. Continuous monitoring. Finally, continuous monitoring is essential for maintaining the security of a software-defined network. This includes regular vulnerability assessments, penetration testing, and security audits. In conclusion, software-defined networking introduces new security challenges that must be addressed. Key considerations for security in software-defined networks include authentication and authorization, traffic segmentation, encryption, monitoring and logging, disaster recovery and business continuity, third-party integration, and continuous monitoring. By implementing these security measures, organizations can ensure the security and resilience of their software-defined networks.